But you have to say for yourself.
What's for dinner?
What's going on here? What's that stink?
What's this for?
What time is it? What's that?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Hey my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel Watson's World. If this is the first time you are visiting this channel, guys, as per usual, go ahead and click on the subscription button right now. Also click on the notification bell so that you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at The Noble Cop. People, we want to get this channel up to 50,000 subscribers by the middle of December. So go ahead and support the channel. Now people, in this video, I'm going to talk about counter surveillance and how you can protect your life using counter surveillance techniques. This is something that I had incorporated in my daily life there in Jamaica when I served as a police officer, and no doubt that it has kept me safe, people. As many of you may already know, I was involved with a number of high-profile investigations, and we took down one of the largest lottery scam syndicates there in Jamaica. So it was easy to become a target, people. And so counter surveillance is something that I incorporated in my life there in Jamaica daily. What is counter surveillance? Well, as you know, surveillance is basically when you watch somebody, right? You watch their movement, you watch, everything that they do. You make a note of it, you know where them live, you know what places they visit on a regular basis, you know who their family members are, you know all the people they are associated with without them knowing that they actually are being surveilled, right? Counter surveillance, on the other hand, is a technique used to identify when you are being surveilled or when you are being watched, right? It is also used to deter persons from surveilling you. This is so important, guys, because this can mean the difference between life and death. Right? There are a number of techniques that I incorporate that I'm going to share with you. There are some that I can't tell you about because they require a different level to do those things. I would say they require access to certain things and so on. And I don't want to get to that, but I'm going to just talk about just very simple, common things that you can do in your life on a daily basis. And guys, I'm doing this video because I know that many Jamaicans are afraid because of the level of criminality there, right? And we understand that criminals in Jamaica don't care about the police. And quite frankly, people, you can't always depend on the police to protect you because, as I've always said, the police cannot be everywhere. And so applying these counter surveillance techniques to your daily lives can surely help to keep you safe and reduce the risk, right, of being targeted by a criminal. So one of the first things that I want to put out there, guys, is observation. It is absolutely important for you to be observant, making a mental note of your surroundings, right? Looking for things that stand out. And being observant means, guys, that you are going to have to practice, make a conscious effort to observe something, to focus on something, to see what color it is, what the shape of the thing is, whether it is something that you've seen before, what the thing name, if it is something that you're familiar with, and all the descriptions that can be used to identify that thing or that person. Now guys, even police officers, one of the first things that police officers are trained to do when they're in training school is to be observant. If you're looking at a person, you look at the clothes that they're wearing, the color clothes that they're wearing, look for something unique on the clothes. Probably it has a tear, probably it has a stain, probably it has some kind of special logo or any kind of graphic that will help you to recognize that individual. If you are close enough, you can make a mental note of individuals who are wearing tattoos. You can look at the type of tattoo, the color of the tattoo. You can make a mental note of any physical feature that is unique or stands out in some way. Probably the person have a unique nose, mouth, eye, right? Eye color, right? Hair color, the size of them ears are the way them ears look, the size of them mouth, the way them mouth look, probably the mouth twist like this, or probably I don't know, them have bigger lips than you normally used to. Even the way the person walk, the way the person talk. And the same goes for your environment, guys. Make sure that you're always making a mental note of your surrounding. You make a mental note of landmarks. You make a mental note of where objects are, where a vehicle may be parked, right? You make a mental note of individuals, where they're standing, and whether this individual moved to another location. Be familiar with all the roads that you can take to go home. Know what areas are bad, know what areas are built up, what areas are lonely, right? To avoid those areas, and so on. And the idea here is to make sure that you are not predictable, because what surveillance is all about is to study you, to watch you, to see what your habits are, to see the locations that you visit, and so on. And once that can be established, then you become an easy target. And so it's very important that you do not drive the same route home every day. If you don't have much of an option, well, the next thing is to make sure that you don't go home at the same time every day. Change up the time. If you leave work at 5 o'clock, don't leave work and just go straight home. Find other things to do. If you can stay over at work and do a little extra work until 6, do that, right? If you can stop by a family member house or a friend, whatever it is, just make sure that you're not predictable and you're not going home at the same time every day. Criminals cannot study you if they don't know what you're up to or what you are doing. And this is something that I utilize a lot when I served in the JCF when I was in Jamaica, right? I tried to operate in such a way that nobody would be able to predict where I would be at any particular time. Another technique, guys, essentially has to do with when you're driving. You should always be looking in your rear view mirror, and not only because it's a requirement, right, to keep you safe when you're on the roads from other drivers, and to keep other drivers safe too, right? But your rear view mirror is so important, right? It's more than that. Your rear view mirror can be used to identify when you are being followed. It's so important for you to know what vehicle is behind you, right? Whether this vehicle has made the same turns that you have made, and if so, how can you truly recognize that this person is following you? Well, there are a number of things that you can do. First of all, you can stop at the nearest police station. Just drive up into the police station or stop close to the police station and watch the vehicle if it passes you, right? You can stay there for 10 minutes or 15 minutes if you need to, right? Another thing to do is if you're going home, don't stop at home, but sometimes you can drive past your home and go somewhere, make a U-turn and see if the vehicle, is making that U-turn with you, and so on. Just various little things that you can use to recognize if someone is following you or they're watching you. Another very important thing that I used to use, people, right, was a dash cam. I had a little camera set up on my dashboard in my car that was always watching, right? It's always recording. and I found it very useful. Not only because it helps you to do counter surveillance, but also it protects you as a driver on the road, right? A lot of insurance companies here in Canada use these dash cameras to help with cases to determine whether a driver is wrong or right. But it can be used, these cameras can be used to do so much more, right, to protect you. Another technique that I used was to always categorize the vehicles that I believe are following me. So I would, whether it's a car, a SUV, a bike man, right? And bike riders are the worst. I was so paranoid by bike riders. I'd say be very observant of these bike riders. If you're at a stoplight and a bike man right up beside you, make sure so you always watch the bike man. Now people, I don't want to make this video too long, but you kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. Now for those persons who are pedestrians, persons who are walking, and especially for females, I would say that there are counter surveillance techniques that you can use. Just make sure that you are always watching your environment, and this is a technique that I believe you should incorporate. Make sure that if you feel like you are being followed or watched, right, make sure that your body language is saying that you are also watching, right? So deliberately stop, look around you, right? Observe, focus, then observe, focus, and you look around you. In doing so, right, what you are telling the individual who is surveilling you is that you are watching, and it's a possibility that you have seen them, right? So that is what you're doing when you do that. Another thing that I used to do, especially if I have a strong hunch, if I have a strong feeling that somebody is watching me, is that I would take out my phone, guys, and people might think you're crazy. I take out my phone and I'd pretend as though I am doing a Facebook Live or talking to somebody and showing that person my environment. People who are surveilling you are scared of that. They don't want to be captured on camera, right? So if you have a strong feeling that you're being watched, yeah man, just take out your phone and start record something, right? And once you do that, it creates some kind of deterrence, right? Another technique is to make sure that if you're a pedestrian and you feel like you're being watched, make a stop. Even if you don't have to make a stop in a supermarket, in a store, in a shop, right? Somewhere built up, and observe if when you're done with what you're doing in the supermarket or the store, if that individual is still hanging around. That's a good indication that you are being followed, right? Another thing I would say, if you are being followed and you're in the city, make sure that you go to the nearest police station. You can never go wrong if you just stop at the police station, visit police, and probably tell them that you feel like you are being watched or you're being followed. One last thing here, and this is for people who are taking taxis. If you are going to take a taxi that you're not familiar with, I'd say that this little device, your phone, is one of the most powerful little devices that can be used to save your life if you're smart enough. I've always said that in Jamaica we have internet, we have everything, and everybody have an Android phone these days, right? So utilize your phone. One of the things that I always recommend, if you're going into a taxi that you don't know, snap a quick picture of the taxi, snap a quick picture of the license plate and send it to a friend or family member and say, this is the taxi where me are going on, right? Another way is to have a friend on the phone and you can say, boy, me are going on one great Toyota Corolla, the license plate number is so and so and so, is a dark complexion man, I drive it, him nose big, and I big, him I wear this color shirt or him I wear this color pants, you know, that is if you can see all of that, right? And anything unique on the taxi that you want to tell your friend about. People, don't be afraid to do these things. I know that for a lot of people, they may not think quickly on their feet about these things, but as I said before, it's a practice. You have to practice to do these things, right? Another thing that I'd say, guys, I'd mentioned in another video that you can allow at least one family member to be able to track you on your phone, right? So they will always know your whereabouts. Google, once you have an Android phone, Google allow you to do that. So if I have my phone here, all I have to do is I can register email with the phone, and this email may be an email that I can share with a family member. It may not be an email that I receive emails, important emails, but just register it and then give a family member access to that, and so they'll be able to see your location and the different places that you've stopped. There are third-party software. I'm not advertising for any software companies, no, but there is one called Live 360 that is very good. I think it's free. You have to pay for the premium service, but to just be able to track family members, you can download it and you can track several family members at the same time. And these are just things that you can use to protect yourselves. Guys, remember, we cannot depend on the police to be there all the time when we need them, because police officers are overwhelmed. They can't be everywhere. So we have to take precautions, right, to protect ourselves. So those are my little surveillance techniques that I used in my daily life when I was in Jamaica, right, to protect myself. I believe that every Jamaican, every law-abiding Jamaican who wants to keep themselves and their family safe can benefit from utilizing this in their daily lives. We have to be cognizant of the fact that criminals are out there, and we have to watch our backs. Guys, as I said earlier, if you have any special counter surveillance technique that you use, or anything that you use to keep yourself safe, tell me down below, right? Share it with our fellow viewers. I'm sure a lot of persons read the comments. I read all my comments, guys, so I would appreciate that. I'm going to finish this video right here. This may be a long video. I'm sorry about that, guys. Would want to have more discussion around this, and probably in one of my live streams I'll do that, right? But for now, guys, I'm going to finish this video right here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Noble Cop. Until next time, my beautiful people, peace out. Yeah, man, big up on yourself. All right.